Hey YouTube, it's Claire again. I'm here from Salt Lake City. I've been back in town for about 3 weeks and I just wanted to catch up with you guys because I have not been making any YouTube videos for about 2 months or something like that. But I've been in Europe for about a month and 20 days. I did a solo trip through about 5 countries. I thought I would just tell you about it if you guys are interested in doing a trip through Europe. This will maybe give you some tips on places to visit, and I'll also be making more videos later with details about how to actually take your trip through Europe. So the first country that I went was Belgium. I went to a place called Ghent, or Ghent as it's spelled, and that was just amazing. They had really interesting architecture, Gothic architecture. I met some people, I met a lot of new friends, walked around, and then from there I actually went to Bruges, which is another city in Belgium, with this girl that I met just randomly as I was walking around taking photos, and we went on a day trip to Bruges and we had some Belgian waffles there, so that was amazing. The waffles were really good. And after that, about 2 days being there, or 3 days, I went to Amsterdam. And Amsterdam, there was the Pride Festival going on, the Canal Parade with all of the boats and music and parties, and it was so full of people. It was amazing. It was like, I couldn't believe that I was actually there, but I made it for the Canal Parade. So I got to watch that, walk around, see all the buildings, see all the people. I went to an outdoor party and I randomly met a bunch of Dutch people. Who were so sweet, and they let me join in their party and dance with them, and they offered me wine, and we ended up going to a bunch of parties and concerts and clubs and dancing all night until like 5 a.m. or 5:30 a.m. And then I walked back to my hostel with one of the Dutch girls who was really sweet, and so that was amazing. Then I also visited the Vondelpark of Amsterdam, and it's a park down somewhere in Amsterdam, but it's really nice, beautiful, and people are just everywhere. That's the thing about Amsterdam, is people are everywhere all the time. Like at night, during the weekends, they're just all out in the street dancing or partying or meeting or doing things, and there's always stuff going on. So even aside from the Pride Festival that was going on, they are always like just having fun, and it seemed so awesome. I just really loved it there. After being there for, I think it was three nights, I also visited Anne Frank Museum and walked around all the canals. Then I went, my next destination was Copenhagen, Denmark. So in Denmark, I had a hostel, and I got to see all of the architecture from Copenhagen. I went to the water and the beach, and I hung out there one afternoon. It was just so beautiful, and the water is like blue-green, clear and lovely, and the skies are so high and the sun is out. It just felt amazing being there, and there was something about it that I just loved. And all the people were super friendly and super tall. So I went to a bar and everybody was tall. I'm 6 foot tall, but everyone else was comparable or taller or like around that height, so it was crazy. But it was also really cool. And then I met a bunch of people at one of my hostels, and we went out one night. And we just went to the hipster bridge, they called it, and the hipster bridge was just a bridge overlooking the water where all these people were hanging out, dancing, listening to music, or just sitting and chilling and talking. And so we went there and we danced a while and we had a lot of fun, and then that was pretty late, like till 3 a.m. or something. Anyway, so then, what else? Then I went from Copenhagen, my next destination, I decided to go to Berlin, Germany. So in Berlin, I took my train there, got to cross back over the Baltic Sea because there was the ferry goes over the Baltic Sea to get you from Germany to Denmark and back. In Berlin, I wanted to see all of the museums and walk the streets and see the architecture, the new Anvil, because there's a lot of differences between the new architecture that came after World War I and the pre-existing buildings, and it was just really interesting to see that contrast because there were a few buildings that were still standing, had been there before World War II, and then a lot of buildings had been destroyed, so they had started over and built up new architecture and new buildings. So everything was like modern, but you could tell that there was history. So that was really interesting. I also went clubbing in Berlin with a friend that I had met in the hostel, and we went and danced, and they had a spontaneous dance ring where people would dance off. They would have a dance competition. So that was cool, just to see the cultural differences of that. Next after that I went to Munich, which is down in the southern part of Germany. And Munich is so beautiful. It was just so beautiful. The sun was out, the Isar River goes through Munich. I got to walk along it, I got to swim in it. I met a bunch of friendly people from Munich. They were just really sweet and they just wanted to talk, and I went to Englischer Garden where there is a really nice river and there were tons of people hanging out, tanning, swimming, talking, because it was summertime, and so that was like one of the main things to do was go swimming in the river. So I swam in that river. They also do surfing there. So people were there surfing in the river. So then after Munich, I went back to France. I went to Strasbourg, which is a city on the Rhine River right across from Germany. So you have Germany, you have the Rhine River, and then you have Strasbourg right there, and it has a lot of cool cathedrals and interesting architecture there. So I stayed there for one night and walked around, took pictures, went inside the cathedral, went inside some churches, and it kind of got rainy, but it was still a great last stop before I went back up to where I was staying before. I started my trip in France, so I actually went to visit my family. I have family in France, and there I got to visit Paris, northern France, Etretat, and took pictures, obviously, wandered around all of everything that I could, the Louvre, Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame, Pompidou Center, everything, and met some people, chatted, walked around, hung out with people, and alone. A lot of the trip though, I enjoyed being alone. I just kind of liked being able to do whatever I wanted and do it whenever. So just spontaneously go wherever I wanted and not have to be accountable or not have to tell the other person what I wanted to do, but just kind of go do it. If you go traveling alone, you are going to meet tons of people, so you're going to be available to meet people everywhere, and you won't be distracted, or you won't be kind of caught up in being with this one person only or whoever you're traveling with, because you will be out there meeting, looking, finding people to hang out with. So total, it was an amazing experience, and I just want to share with you. I will be making more videos about the details in case you guys want some more clarity on how to make your own solo trip through Europe, and I'll give you the links and everything to hostels and train passes. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm really happy to be back talking to you guys. So please comment or leave me whatever feedback you want, and I will definitely be making more videos now that I am back in Utah, and now that I finally have an apartment here. So things are settling down, which is really nice, and I can devote more attention to making videos and tutorials. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will talk to you next time. Thank you so much. Bye!